Since 1945, nuclear weapons have stood at the center of global power. They are the most destructive tools ever created by human hands. Yet paradoxically, they are also credited with preventing large-scale war between the world's strongest nations. Among all nuclear-armed states, the United States maintains one of the most advanced, structured, and technologically sophisticated arsenals on Earth. But these weapons are not simply bombs stored in vaults. They are part of a complex system designed for one core purpose: deterrence. To understand America's most powerful nuclear weapons, we must first understand the idea behind them. Nuclear strategy is not built on the concept of victory in the traditional sense. It is built on preventing an enemy from ever deciding to strike first. This philosophy became dominant during the Cold War, when the United States and the Soviet Union faced each other with thousands of warheads capable of destroying civilization. Out of that tension came a system known as the Nuclear Triad. The Nuclear Triad refers to three separate methods of delivering nuclear weapons: land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, and strategic bombers. Each leg of the triad exists to guarantee survivability. If one part is destroyed in an attack, the others remain capable of retaliation. That guarantee forms the backbone of deterrence. The message is simple: any nuclear attack will be answered. The land-based portion of this triad consists primarily of the LGM-30G Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile, hidden deep beneath reinforced concrete and steel silos across the central United States. These missiles remain on constant alert. The Minuteman III has a range exceeding 13,000 kilometers and travels at speeds greater than Mach 20. Within minutes of a launch command, it can leave its silo, arc through space, and deliver multiple warheads to separate targets. This multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle capability allows a single missile to strike more than one location. The Minuteman III has been in service for decades, yet it continues to receive upgrades to its guidance systems, propulsion components, and security architecture. Its existence ensures that no adversary can eliminate America's nuclear capability in a surprise first strike. Even if several silos were destroyed, hundreds remain operational. The system's constant readiness sends a signal of reliability, which is critical in nuclear deterrence. If an adversary doubts whether retaliation would occur, deterrence weakens. However, land-based missiles, despite their speed and readiness, are fixed in place. Their locations are known. This makes the second leg of the triad arguably the most survivable. Submarine-launched ballistic missiles. The UGM-133 Trident II D5 missile represents one of the most powerful sea-based nuclear weapons in the American arsenal. These missiles are deployed aboard Ohio-class nuclear-powered submarines. Unlike land silos, these submarines move silently beneath the ocean's surface, often remaining submerged for months at a time. Their exact positions are among the most closely guarded secrets in military strategy. The Trident II has a range of more than 12,000 kilometers and exceptional accuracy. Each submarine can carry multiple missiles, and each missile can carry multiple warheads. This creates a hidden retaliatory force that is extraordinarily difficult to eliminate. Even in the worst-case scenario, if an enemy launched a massive nuclear strike on American soil submarines at sea, would still survive, ensuring a devastating response. This survivability forms the core of second strike capability. It is not about launching first, it is about guaranteeing response. Because adversaries know submarines cannot easily be destroyed preemptively, they are discouraged from attempting a first strike at all. The third leg of the triad consists of strategic bombers. Unlike ballistic missiles, bombers provide flexibility. Missiles, once launched, cannot be recalled. Bombers, however, can be deployed as a show of force and potentially redirected if tensions ease. This gives political leaders more options in a crisis. Among America's most advanced strategic bombers is the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. Designed with radar-evading technology, the B-2 can penetrate heavily defended airspace. It is capable of delivering nuclear gravity bombs with high precision. Its stealth characteristics reduce detection risk, allowing it to approach strategic targets that might be inaccessible to conventional aircraft. In the coming years, the B-2 will be complemented and eventually succeeded by the B-21 Raider, a next-generation stealth bomber designed with advanced digital systems, improved survivability, and enhanced range. The B-21 represents the modernization of airborne nuclear deterrence. It is not necessarily more destructive in yield than previous systems, but it is more adaptable to modern threats, including advanced air defenses and electronic warfare environments. Beyond delivery systems, America maintains several powerful nuclear warheads. One of the most notable is the B-83 thermonuclear bomb, historically one of the highest yield weapons in the U.S. arsenal. With a maximum yield measured in megatons, it far exceeds the explosive power of the bombs used in World War II. Designed to target hardened underground facilities, the B-83 reflects Cold War-era planning, when deeply buried command bunkers were considered primary targets. Another critical component is the B-61 family of nuclear bombs, particularly the modernized B-61-12 variant. This weapon features adjustable yield options and improved guidance systems, allowing for greater precision. Variable yield provides flexibility and deterrence planning. Rather than relying exclusively on maximum destructive power, military planners can calibrate response levels depending on strategic needs. This does not make nuclear war limited or safe, but it introduces gradations within deterrence doctrine. Altogether, the United States is estimated to maintain approximately 5,000 nuclear warheads, with a smaller portion actively deployed on missiles and submarines. The remainder are either in reserve or undergoing maintenance. These numbers fluctuate over time due to modernization programs and arms control agreements. Arms control treaties have played an important role in managing nuclear arsenals. Agreements between major nuclear powers have aimed to cap deployed warheads, limit launch systems, and create verification mechanisms to reduce misunderstandings. While such treaties do not eliminate nuclear weapons entirely, they reduce the risk of uncontrolled arms races and accidental escalation. Despite their destructive capacity, nuclear weapons today function primarily as deterrents. The principle of mutually assured destruction underpins much of global strategic stability. If two nuclear powers can destroy each other completely, neither has incentive to initiate conflict. This balance of terror, while unsettling, has arguably prevented direct war between major nuclear states for decades. Yet, nuclear deterrence is not static. Technological advances present new challenges. Hypersonic glide vehicles, cyber warfare, artificial intelligence, and space-based systems are reshaping strategic calculations. Cybersecurity in particular has become a critical concern. Nuclear command and control systems must be protected against intrusion or disruption. Modernization efforts focus heavily on secure communications and resilient infrastructure to ensure that decision-making authority remains intact. Under all circumstances, the human element also remains central. Nuclear weapons are controlled through strict chains of command, authentication protocols, and procedural safeguards. Launch authority ultimately rests with civilian leadership, reflecting the principle of democratic control over military force. Multiple verification steps are required before any launch can occur. These safeguards are designed to prevent unauthorized use and reduce the risk of accidental war. If nuclear weapons were ever used again in large numbers, the consequences would be catastrophic. Immediate effects would include blast destruction, thermal radiation, and electromagnetic pulse disruption. Infrastructure would collapse in targeted regions. Casualties would be immense. Beyond immediate devastation, long-term environmental impacts could disrupt agriculture and global climate systems. Studies suggest that even a limited nuclear exchange could produce widespread food shortages and economic collapse. This reality reinforces why nuclear weapons are viewed as weapons of last resort. Their power is so extreme that their primary purpose is psychological rather than tactical. They influence decisions, not through use, but through the threat of use. In geopolitical terms, nuclear weapons shape alliances and security guarantees. The United States extends deterrence commitments to several allied nations, assuring them that nuclear aggression against them would trigger a response. This nuclear umbrella strengthens alliance structures but also increases strategic complexity. Commitments must be credible to deter adversaries, yet restrained enough to avoid unnecessary escalation. Critics of nuclear arsenals argue that modernization perpetuates reliance on catastrophic weapons. Supporters argue that credible deterrence prevents greater wars. This debate continues within policy circles, reflecting broader ethical and strategic questions about security in a nuclear-armed world. What remains clear is that America's most powerful nuclear weapons are not standalone objects. They are part of an integrated system of technology, doctrine, communication, and political authority. From underground missile silos to silent submarines beneath the ocean. From stealth bombers in secured hangars to hardened command centers designed to withstand extreme scenarios, the system is built around survivability and response. In the end, the strength of a nuclear arsenal is not measured solely in megatons or missile range. It is measured in credibility, stability, and restraint. The United States, like other nuclear powers, balances modernization with arms control, deterrence with diplomacy. For more than 75 years, nuclear weapons have not been used in war between major powers. That absence is not accidental. It is the product of deterrence doctrine, international caution, and recognition of catastrophic consequences. America's most powerful nuclear weapons, therefore, represent a paradox. They are instruments of unimaginable destruction, yet their greatest success lies in remaining unused. They exist in silence maintained, monitored, modernized not as tools of conquest, but as guardians of strategic balance. Whether future generations will continue to live under nuclear deterrence or move toward eventual disarmament remains uncertain. Technological innovation, shifting power balances, and geopolitical competition will shape that future. But for now, the United States maintains one of the most advanced nuclear arsenals ever constructed, not to fight a war but to ensure that no adversary believes war would be survivable. And in the nuclear age, sometimes the most powerful weapon is the one that never leaves its silo, never rises from the ocean, and never drops from the sky. Its power lies in possibility. Its strength lies in prevention, and its ultimate purpose, if deterrence continues to hold, is to remain forever unused.